As I, as I mentioned on our media call, I mean, what if I told you the ESPN 30 for 30 that, a team that, a lot of people back in the spring, summertime, kind of thought that, we were going to, that we lost guys and we were going to take a step back, and not really realizing that, what the true character, the true heart, and the true talent of this team was. And we finished, 8th and 9th in the league. Those guys in the locker room, they knew different. And for them to, do what they've done this year, I mean, for them to, go out and prove people wrong, for them to just, battle. And we've been in a lot of close games, and it's just the way we play. And for us to have to kind of endure the wrath of COVID scheduling and, the craziness of our schedule over the last 2 weeks, for our guys to really dig deep. They knew, because they knew their backs were against the wall. I mean, they knew that this game was a must. I mean, we had to win this game to just make sure that we put ourselves in the right position. I mean, that still doesn't guarantee you anything, but it sure doesn't hurt your cause, when it comes to Selection Sunday. And that's not, the culmination of the season. I mean, our goal is to go to Vegas and win the tournament. But at the same time, I mean, for these guys, I mean, for our season was it's been too special. It's been too special at home. And for the fans to come out, to brave the weather, to have that type of crowd, considering the circumstances, it's what makes Wyoming a special place. And when you're trying to, honor three really special seniors on senior night, to cap it off the way it did. Now, I wish it wasn't going to be as close as it was, but it probably, it was one of those deals, probably the end of the 30-30 of probably didn't have to, couldn't end any other way. And for Maldo to step up and make those free throws, for Thompson to step up and make a huge winning play on that charge on Robinson, and to come up with a loose ball, to throw it to J.O. to get fouled. I mean, for those two guys, especially for the two Hunters who have endured so much since they went at their time at University of Wyoming, those guys they've been through a lot. I mean, they've been at the bottom, and for those guys to experience that, I mean, that's why you do it. I mean, I don't really remember a lot of the wins. I remember a couple losses, but in terms of, just, to see the look on their faces, to interact, with Thompson afterwards, and just to see the joy on his face. I mean, that's why you coach. I mean, that's why you do it. Just a great team effort. Can't be more, just so proud of those guys in the locker room. So proud of my staff. Everybody that, makes this deal go. I mean, it's just not me and my staff. I mean, the support people, the event people, the fans, the students. I mean, it takes a collective effort to have a championship program. And so got a lot of basketball left. We need some rest, obviously. It'd be nice to have a couple days here to where we can really just kind of get back and let our guys get their legs back underneath them, focus on us for a little bit, and then get ready to go on Thursday against UNLV.
Jeff, can you hear us?
Yep.
I guess you like to challenge your guys a lot. Did you challenge X this week to really get more involved on the offensive end? And what do you think of his new hairdo?
Yeah, no, I really challenged X over the last 2-3 weeks he's such a smart kid, and sometimes really smart kids have a tendency to overanalyze and end up getting paralysis by analysis. But when he's good, I mean, he just lets it go. And after the UNLV game in the locker room, I mean, I told him, man, it's time to look in the mirror. I mean, even though he has been looking in the mirror, but then obviously he must have taken it literally, where he looked in the mirror and decided, and I love his hair, so I'm kind of disappointed that he cut it off. But hey, if that's what he needs to do to kind of get a clean slate as we make our way down the stretch, then I'm all for it. But X, his mom Judy, she's been here for the last week. I mean, they're really special to me. I mean, they're ones that they committed to us, signed with us at Northern Colorado when I was there. They followed us here. I mean, they're just special people, and they're really loyal. And as I always told them, it's never, the process is different for everybody. And there's been a lot of sophomores that have had tough sophomore years. And, the thing about X is he just continues to work, and he cares. And that's the thing, like, he cares. Like, he really cares about being a good player, being a good person, being a somebody that represents the University of Wyoming and what it's about to be a member of our basketball team. And so I'm just happy that he got to see that because, we need that as we move forward.
Jeff, Maldo's obviously a clutch player, but were you at all nervous at the end of regulation, just in the sense that he's trying to make those 2 free throws with one eye basically, and he has to make them, or your season's really, ending on a sour note?
It's funny. I probably is as much as when he goes the foul line, I was probably a little bit more nervous, at the 1 minute mark when he went to the line and he missed 2. For whatever reason, when he went to the line there at the end, that kind of had a calmness that he was going to step up. I mean, he earned that moment, he earned that opportunity, and for him to be able to step up and make those shots. I mean, that's how the season, that's how the regular season at home, needed to end.
Jeff, you talked earlier this week about the pressure of the situation y'all are in, and that, if you can't handle that pressure, you're probably not ready for the tournament. For you, what was it like to see the way that you kind of responded to all the adversity and really overcame the pressure today?
It just says a lot about, just a lot about those guys in that locker room. And that was a really good basketball team we just beat. I mean, Fresno's, they're tough. Orlando Robinson, he's a pro. They're playing well. They almost beat San Diego State double overtime. And so for them to come on a quick turnaround, we knew that, we had to have our best. And, for us just to come out and to have that sense of urgency, that sense of desperation that you need this time of year. And for such a young team, when you have 4 COVID freshmen, 1 true freshman, Noah Reynolds, and then you have, 2 or 3 fifth-year seniors, it's in those fifth-year seniors, they've never been through this. They've never been on a team where people are gunning for you, where people think that, hey, we come into Wyoming, we're getting a quad 1 win on the road. That's a big deal. And so it's taken us a little while to understand that. And sometimes you don't know. It might not have been tonight. Thankfully it was, where, you need a little bit of a spark to kind of ignite and to kind of get you over that hump or that obstacle. As we say, the obstacle's the way. And sometimes it just takes a little bit longer, but luckily we kind of got that spark, and hopefully now it's just the pressure's off and now let's just go play.
How would you describe the challenge of defending Orlando Robinson, and what was it like to see Hunter kind of battling all the way, as best he could with that guy and coming up with those 2 key plays you mentioned?
Yeah, Orlando is, he's a special player. He's a tough guard. When you're at 7 foot and, with his skill level, really all you're doing is trying to make it as hard as possible, knowing that, a guy like him, pros, you're just at the mercy of them making or missing. And, I thought we did a good job for the most part, especially when, Graham was in there, but, Graham obviously was fighting some foul trouble. But for Hunter to come in, and that's the beauty of our team. In this day and age where, if you lost your starting spot, you're at Peter Pritty, you're at our compliance guy at Peter Priggy's office the next day, putting your name in the transfer portal. And for a guy like, Hunter Thompson to know that, the sacrifices he's made, knowing that it was for the betterment of the team, and the support that he gives Graham every single day. The relationship that those two have, and Hunter he's all about the team. And so, yeah, does he want to be out there playing more? Of course, but he also knows too that that's what's best for the team. And, he's 100%, he's 110%. He's a million infinity times percent in, and that's how you have a good team. And for him to be able to impact winning, when he gets the brunt of a lot of crap, especially being from Wyoming, everyone expect him to be something that, he hasn't been or wasn't. Like, for him to have that moment, and for me to be able to see his face afterwards, knowing that he helped us win that game. I'll take that. I'll take that image with me for, the rest of my life.
Jeff, it looks like UNLV's next, and you guys are actually going to get some rest this time. What do you like about that matchup?
Well, it's a difficult matchup. From a talent standpoint, athleticism standpoint, they're good. We saw that there, at their place a few days ago. So it will be nice to have a little bit of rest underneath us and to kind of get our, just to kind of be able to practice. I mean, all we've been doing is just game prep, rest, game prep. I mean, so for us to just kind of have a little bit of a break, and then, luckily we played UNLV here just, a game ago. So from a prep standpoint, it's not complicated, but, they also got good players that, you don't need to run a lot of stuff. And you got guys like Hamilton and whatnot that can just go make plays. And so, they'll have our full attention, rightfully so. And I know we'll have theirs. And now you're at that time of year where, thankfully for us, I mean, a lot of team seasons are ending every single day. And for us, we know regardless, I mean, what happens in Vegas, we're going to be playing one way or the other.